in minus 30-degree weather. This woman took off her clothes and swam straight towards the river. The moment she touched the bottom of the river, the cold water instantly made the woman shiver. The woman was so frightened that she returned to the shore and put on the clothes she had with her. What on earth would make a woman risk going to the center of the river? It turns out that just a day earlier, Annie was traveling on a private jet to visit her sick father. While she was relaxing on her cell phone, the pilot warned her to turn on the flight mode. Otherwise, it would affect the signal and lead to a crash. But Annie didn't budge. Instead, she turned up the sound. As she closed her eyes to sleep, the plane was jammed and had to land on the lake. When Annie woke up from her coma, she found herself hanging upside down in her seat. Panicked, Annie unbuckled her seatbelt and climbed in front of the co-pilot. She inquired if there was a life preserver, but Mike was already in a state of shock. She couldn't swim and couldn't care less. While Annie was trying to rescue the pilot, Mike opened the door of the plane and swam outside. The plane lost its balance and flipped over. Annie untied the ropes and took the pilot away. The man's leg was caught in the seat by a steel pipe. Annie had to abandon the rescue and escape. She swam to the surface and ran into the fleeing Mike. Seeing that he was about to drown in the river, Annie took Mike by the shoulders and led him to the shore. Exhausted, they lay down and fell asleep. When Annie woke up from her rest, Mike appeared to be dead. She was so frightened that she kept slapping his face. Annie was at a loss for words when she realized Mike's right leg had been pierced by a shard of metal. She tried to pull it out, but the moment she touched the metal, Mike was awakened by excruciating pain. If pulled straight out, Mike could have died from the pain. So Annie made a simple hemostatic bag. After saving Mike's life, Annie stood up. Then she threw her coat on the ground, pulled out her cell phone to call for help, but the cell phone says no signal call failed, which meant they had to save themselves. Tough Annie took off her coat and put it on the ground to dry, grabbed her cell phone and headed for the top of the mountain. Seeing the mountain in front of her, Annie let out a heartbreaking roar. It was her last act of stubbornness.
Yeah, to watch the continuation of the part 2 of this movie, don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Anytime we post our new videos or movie series, you will be the first person to see and watch as well.